This is a clip from an earlier live stream. I know you're going to like it, so the link to the full video is down below. Check it out. I'll see you over there.
Something very disturbing is happening in America. I feel like AmFest is, or what it did for me was it contributed to my realization that the future, the dark future that everyone's always predicting, like the AI future, it's here. We're actually here. I think that we are fighting machines. I think that these people are not humans, that they're sentinels that maybe look like humans. That's how I feel. I feel like it's the single solitary event that contributed to my realization that the future is happening right now. Leading people into AI, I have always sensed this demonic because I'm telling you, I don't even think these people are human. Like I look at Elon Musk and Sam Altman and Peter Thiel, and I'm pretty sure they're hybrid. You know what I mean? Like they just look like an Apple software that I should be able to download at night, you know, like my phone's getting an update or something. It's something in the eyes. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I know I'm human, but I don't know if I stabbed you if you bleed, you know, I'm not going to stab them, but I don't know if they bleed all the way. I think a battery would fall out. You know what I mean? The gap that's between us and the rest of them is essentially they don't know how to behave like humans. You know what I mean? Like we're fighting an algorithm, a computer code that is presenting as a human being, but actually it can't comprehend real human emotion. And the programmers can't quite write the code specifically enough to emulate real human emotion. And so in response, they're just multiplying the sentinels. Like they're sending more of them to say and do things that are obviously abnormal, that are obviously inhumane. And they're hoping that with enough of them pretending like it's fine, they can override our humanity. I know I'm human, but I don't know if I stabbed you if you bleed, you know? We're actually here. I think that we are fighting machines. I think that these people are not humans, that they're sentinels that maybe look like humans. That's how
Okay, I got to hear again. I can't stand this woman. All right, I'm going to give y'all bots. That was it. Hey, AI, that's going to be bots, y'all, for sure. I got TPUSA. I just sense tip line shout out, weird. Andrew Colvet, and I got my free space. Well, like, yeah, Candace, go live in the UK. Go live in the UK. Like, do that. Do it. No, we're not human now. It's funny because I think Candace really does get offended when people say that. Because remember a couple weeks ago, she accused her detractors of being bots. The people who were pushing back against Mitch Snow, they were being bots. And she called her audience bots. And they were very offended by that. I think she's trying to push back on that again, that, well, not you, but the people that are TPOs are the bots. Little House Blues. Anyway, y'all, let's get this back up. We got to get done with this craziness. We're going to get done. We're going to get done today. We're not rage quitting.
I feel like it's the single solitary event that contributed to my realization that the future is happening right now. And the issue that a lot of these, the gap that's between us and the rest of them is essentially they don't know how to behave like humans. You know what I mean? Like we're fighting an algorithm, a computer code that is presenting as a human being, but actually it can't comprehend real human emotion. And the programmers can't quite write the code specifically enough to emulate real human emotion. And so in response, they're just multiplying the sentinels. Like they're sending more of them to say and do things that are obviously abnormal, that are obviously inhumane. And they're hoping that with enough of them pretending like it's fine, they can override our humanity. Like, well, everyone's saying this is fine, so it has to be fine. Everyone's saying it's fine, so it absolutely is fine. And there's something wrong with you if you don't realize why it's fine that we're hanging up this tent and taking pictures and selfies under it. I don't know. There's something wrong with you. You're just upset or something.
What are you talking about?
The results of what's happening right now, and Tim Dillon is about to explain this, and I have a lot of Tim Dillon clips because he just spoke to me.
No more
heard
Tim
his
Dillon,
take on everything.
please.
But the result is that right now what's happening in this country and really all over the world is that everything feels weird and wrong. That's why I kept saying last year that everything is fake and gay. It feels like we're watching a movie. It feels like we're all in the Truman Show and everyone around us are actually robots. And things have gotten so abnormal that even things that should be abnormal, like RFK sexting, which is what Tim Dillon's about to describe, feels like that's the most normal thing going on. Take a listen to Tim Dillon.
What a profoundly dysfunctional society we have. There's nothing to look up to. There's no one to be excited about. Really, the least controversial member of this administration is RFK Jr. Can you imagine? He's the least scandal-prone member of the administration. And every 3 days, there's another text leaking from him where he's like, open your mouth. I want to put my seed in you. And that's somehow the best part of this whole thing. His sex are nowhere near as, scandalous as like Kash Patel, the FBI director, is sitting there updating you on his girlfriend's country music tour. It's hell. It's absolutely hell. And Erica Kirk, God bless, tragic, and I'm sorry for what happened, but nobody knows why she's out there in a glittering pantsuit in a recreated tent that her husband tragically was murdered in, throwing merch out. She's out there talking to Nicki Minaj. People are confused.
I'm sorry. If this is going to be Candace in 26, she's done. It's a wrap. Y'all, we can go ahead and start turning off the lights. Go ahead and pull this DJ, you can stop. This is going to be a mess. If this is going to be how she moves and how she presents herself and just using this guy as her, this is going to be crazy work.
What's going on? Those are the 3 words that sum up this whole entire mess that we've created for ourselves.
He's right. What is going on sums up how we all feel right now. And I also would like to mention here another confusing parts that we kind of didn't discuss enough. Another confusing part of that Barry Weiss interview that we should discuss.
What did that have to do with the tent? Allegedly, the tent was the biggest thing popping. Now, I do want to make sure, you know what? I'm feeling gracious because Jason was right. I was correct. Well, Jason, what were you correct about? I was correct. I told you all when Candace Owens comes back on in January, she is not going to mention Fort Hawktua. She was not going to talk about it. And you know what? I am correct. So because I am correct at that, I am going to give you anybody who needs, well, first of all, she said YouTubers, so that's going to be influencers. I'm going to give you a claim without receipt. I'm going to give you that. And if you need Neff, you can have that as well. Yes, I do cheat at bingo because I want everybody to win at bingo. So if you're new to my bingo game, have no fear. You're probably going to win next time. Trust me, you were going to win today. Everybody's going to win. Everybody. I did not expect this one. I thought she was going to say military sooner. But anyway, I knew she was not going to mention that doggone Hawktua, and she has not mentioned it. Now, she might still, but at the moment, she has not talked about it. Let's bring it back in. Candace, where you going? Let's go.
More. Everyone was making TikToks about the stop, just stop. But actually, the most effed up part about that interview was CBS's decision to bring Hunter Kozak to ask Erica a question. Again, who approved this? I want to know. I want to know who thought it up and who said, okay, yes, let's do it, because everyone involved in that process is what I think we're fighting right now. I think these are robots. There's no way that
Autobots roll out
that idea and then a team of people at CBS approve it. Again, they wanted to recreate the moment that Charlie died. But this time his wife was going to survive it. Hunter Kozak, last time we all saw him, Charlie died. Barry Weiss, bring him back. Erica's going to survive it. Now, to the computer programmers, I want you to know that to us humans looking into that, the part that you're missing is post-traumatic stress, displaced anger. Like, technically, Hunter Kozak didn't do anything wrong on that day at UVU, but I hate him anyways. That's how I feel. I hate him anyway. I don't ever want to hear his voice ever again because he's the last person on earth that tried to stress out Charlie Kirk, right? Asking him a stupid question about transgenderism, and then Charlie died. So it's not fair, but I don't like Hunter Kozak. I just don't. And I think that that's a normal human feeling.
Nope, it's not. Oh my gosh, what a great face. Jason. Oh, y'all, Santa Claus brought me some great Candace faces in 2026. Y'all, I'm going to keep saying it. And I know people are going to keep trying to deny me and fix me and tell me that I'm wrong. Candace is not a Christian. She's literally saying she hates a man for no reason. That's some crazy work. You're going to search high and you're going to search low to find me saying anything like I hate Candace Owens. It don't exist because I don't. I pray that she gets saved and that she repents of her sins and turns to Christ in trusting salvific faith. But I don't hate the woman. She literally hates a man for no reason. That's crazy work, y'all. That is some grade A homegrown weaponized craziness, military grade craziness. All right, let's keep this going because yeah, I nailed that one. I got that one good. That was pretty savage. You hate everybody. Yeah, Candace hates everybody. A better question is, Candace, who do you actually care about? Apart from George and your kids and your immediate family, who do you actually love? That should be a question I would love to hear answered. Let's go.
Right? Bringing him back to finish asking a question. Like this time, Hunter's going to get to ask his question. That's not relatable to the rest of us. It actually makes people who have a soul feel icky. So I want everyone to watch that moment. I want to invite you to go backward and to rewatch that moment and the manner in which Barry Weiss tees up this excruciatingly odd question. Take a listen.
Erica, as you know, the last person that Charlie ever spoke to was a Utah Valley student named Hunter Kozak. He was asking Charlie a question that day when he was shot, and he's here tonight, and he wants to ask you a question.
Hi there.
So it doesn't matter what the question is. I wanted to tee that up so you could see it. How does that make you feel? How weird is that? The way that I feel when I watch that clip is like when Barry Weiss goes home at night, she just plugs herself into the wall to charge. That's how I feel. I just feel like we're just different. I don't know what species that is or what computer program that is, but I can't relate to that. I can't relate to the idea that if Jackie O a few months later decided to...
Yo, tell me something. And am I off? Am I off in this? Why is Candace making so much? She's making using a lot of energy to tell you that these people are not human. Have you realized this? They're sentinels, they're bots, they're AI, they're robots. Why not just humans that you disagree with? Why not humans that you just disagree with? Because I think you can make a case that you disagree, and I don't think many people probably would argue with you a lot about it. But why do they have to be non-human, Candace? That just seems so odd that you would say that this person isn't a human. This person is plug yourselves into the wall. How weird. Why is that you're using this type of language for people that you disagree with? It is odd. That's just an odd take. I've never heard her. When I even put robots on the bingo board, I'm like, oh, she doesn't talk about it that much. Well, look what we got here.
Interviews that they would be like, hey, Jackie, are you down with like getting back into the car and we're going to drive back to the spot in Dallas, but don't worry, this time you're going to survive. Same people are going to be in the audience, but this time we're just going to recreate that. That's weird. So the real question that I have going into this year is how many of us humans are left? That's my energy in this year. How many humans are actually left? Because I think the war is already happening. And also, what's going to happen now? What's in the forecast for humanity in 2026? Because we've clearly woken up to the fact that everything is fake and gay. And we are therefore now reaching an inflection point. The people that rule over us, they tried it the nice way, I guess. They increased the pageantry. They used even more pyrotechnics and fireworks. And it seems like we're not biting.
Wait. They use more pyrotechnics and fireworks? More compared to what? More compared to what? And I think you all probably know. They've done this every year. They do fireworks every year, pyrotechnics every year. So it's not something new. So maybe you should say that.
still talking about Brigitte Macron being born a dude.
Shout out to
We're
the
also
Macrons.
still talking about the Epstein files.
I know you like that episode. This is actually a clip from a larger live stream. The link is down in the description, so you can go check it out. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you down there. Grace and peace.